what's up YouTube, Pallav here, and Sony had just released a brand new APS-C mirrorless camera, the Alpha 6500 or A6500, however you call it. This is the successor of last year's 2015's A6300, and that was internal successor of the A6000 in 2014. Why I mention all these three is that A6300 and A6500 are kind of incremental compound increase in feature or over the A6000. So they aren't exactly radically different cameras, but they improve on some of the useful, mainly pro and video centric features over the 6000. So the 6500 differs from the A6300 of last year in four major areas. Number one, the A6500 now has a 5-axis in-body stabilization. So even if you do not have stabilization in your lenses, then the in-body 5-axis stabilization will come into play, and you'll get relatively stabilized videos, and it will also stabilize probably while shooting the still. Now when you use an OSS Sony's lens or already stabilized lens, then the in-lens stabilization will take over the in-body stabilization. I think they won't work in combination like some of the like the Canon EOS M5, where the in-body stabilization actually work well with the eyes on the lens, but here the in-lens stabilization will take over the in-body stabilization. So that's number one. Number two is that now you got a touch screen. The rotatability, resolution and size remain the same, but it's a touch screen, so it's easier to rect focus or easier to move the focus point on the LCD. And specifically taking a cue from the EOS M5, even on the A6500, if you're looking through the EVF, you can quickly use the LCD as a touchpad and move the autofocus around. The A6300 did not have that. Number three is that thanks to this brand new LSI chip, you get better processing power and also better ISO performance. Better processing power, as in you now can get about 100 or even slightly more RAW plus JPEG format shooting burst mode. So that's really crazy. Not up to the level of the D500 for example, but still it's really good. And number four is that you got a blazing fast autofocus speed. Now the autofocus points remain the same, 425 pdf points on sensor, but now you have, Sony claims, as little as 0.05 second autofocus speed. And bonus difference in feature is obviously the price. The A6300 retails for about $1,000. The A6500 will retail for about $1,400. 40% premium for this four feature that I talked about. Now you'll have to really see whether those are important for you. For example, if you have a stabilized lens already, you might not want the 5-axis stabilization. Touchscreen, well, it's really important, but it still does not give you a selfie kind of a screen, does not rotate 180 degree. You have to think. It still gets the external mic jack though, that's a good thing. So touchscreen is really important. Processing power is important, but do you actually need 100 RAW plus JPEG in one burst mode? You have to see that 11 FPS, that still remains the same. And also autofocus speed. So the autofocus speed at the touchscreen I see are a real gain from the A6300, but you have to see whether you actually need to pay that 400 premium. In fact, the A6000, if you're not the demanding kinds, if you just want the very good still capabilities and video capabilities without all this pro kind of a feature, A6000 actually retails for $550. So that's almost under $1,000, about $900 saving on your Sony APS-C mirrorless camera. So you have to really see that. The rest of the features are most like the A6300. You get the same 24MP APS-C sensor, as I told you, external mic jack. The body becomes slightly larger than the A6300 thanks to that 5-axis image stabilization, but most of the other features and compatibility remain the same. In my opinion, A6500 is a good upgrade, but I think not worth $400 premium over the A6300. The A6300 also wasn't worth that much premium over the A6000. I think if you're on a budget, the A6000 will do brilliantly good. If you're too demanding, if you only demand the latest, then go for the A6500. That's probably one of the best mirrorless camera that will prove to be, because the A6000 series whole is is a revelation, and that kind of almost killed the Olympus market, almost killed some of the other mirrorless, Fuji market and all, because of that sensor and some of those brilliant video feature. So by all means, if you have the budget, go for the A6500, but the A6000 also is not a slouch at all. Thank you.